Hilton here in Liverpool. I apologise for the delay. I've definitely never experienced the fighters stuck in a lift on the way to the press conference before. Tony Bellew is a clear jinx now of travelling around the world, as we saw from his text reporting from his journey back from Texas at the weekend. Delighted here to be back in Liverpool. It's our first appearance in 2015. I'm so pleased to come here with so many of your big stars and so many major fights on the card ahead of June the 26th at the Echo Arena, All or Nothing live on Sky Sports. To introduce everyone at the table and talk about their fights, of course, starting down the far right with Rocky Fielding in a wonderful fight with Brian Vera. Rocky now ranks top 15 in every governing body, looking to move on to a world title shot, and I think this is the perfect fight for him against Brian Vera. We know Vera's mixed at world level, pushing, or beating, in our opinion, Julio Cesar Chavez, and then having another close fight with him. I think it's the perfect step up for Rocky Fielding. Callum Smith in a wonderful fight against Christopher Rabras for the WBC silver title. Obviously, we saw Rabras give George Groves a great fight in his comeback fight after George Groves knocked him out in front of 80. Carl Froch knocked him out in front of 80,000. I don't know if you knew that at Wembley, but it's a great fight for the WBC silver title. Callum now number 3 with that world governing body, and we've already been in touch with them and spoke with them about Callum moving straight into a final eliminator after that bout to become the mandatory challenger for the winner of George Groves against Bellew Jack. Tony Bellew, back from his big stint in America filming and his upcoming movie, Creed, with Sylvester Stallone. We have to mention it, it's important. Returning really after a win against Nathan Cleverly, and now moving on for a shot at the World Cruiserweight title. Of course, our relationship with Sauerland brothers and their fighter, Juan Pablo Hernandez, the IBF champion, means that later on this year, after Hernandez has fought Ramirez in the summer, Tony Bellew will be looking to move forward with a fight with Hernandez for the IBF title. Delighted to welcome back your big #1 heavyweight. It's been a while since he's been here, and the heavyweight division domestically is absolutely booming right now. It's a pleasure to be working with Sauerland and of course David on this show. He's a huge part of the world heavyweight scene and a massive part of the domestic heavyweight scene as well. And I'm going to pass over to Nisse Sauerland to talk more about David Price and also his potential fight with Tepper for the European title.
Good afternoon, everyone. That was definitely a first, the liftgate incident. First off, I'd like to say it's great to be working with Matchroom and Eddie again. Whenever we come together and promote together, they're always guaranteed to be good shows. And I expect nothing less in Liverpool on the 26th of June. And the big man here, you know, it was always our plan to take David away for a year or so and rebuild, give him some, you know, more confidence, new confidence, get experience, and you know, get over those 2 defeats. We believe the time is right. We believe David is ready. We believe David is world class and he's ready to take on the world again. And the rebuilding is done, and we're going to put on a good show on the 26th of June.
Rocky, obviously the Brian Vera fight, one that you jumped at. Some huge fights on his record, obviously the Chavez fight and the win over the current WBO middleweight champion Andy Lee as well. I know you're excited about the Brian Vera fight this summer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it was a good fight, yeah. Obviously, he texted his name over you, said he's interested in that. I said yes, see to be. You know, it's a good fight for me, fight that. And he knows something for the step up. You know, when the rankings I'm at now, I want to get up the world rankings and push on, you know, for a world title. And you know, I think he's a good fight, a good name for me to get in with and then do it.
Obviously the super middleweight division domestically is thriving at the moment. You know, you've got George Groves about to challenge for the WBC title, James DeGale next week challenging for the IBF title, the governing body that you're ranked 7 with. Of course, Paul Smith fighting Andre Ward, Callum as well in a huge fight. So it's a fun time to be part of that division right now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, great division at the moment. You know, everyone's fighting for world titles or on the verge of fighting for world titles. So you know, I'm happy I'm in that weight in the mix. So hopefully, you know, I'm ranked high with the IBF. You know, get another win, 2 more wins, and then you know, if you can fight for the IBF at the end of the year maybe or something. So you know, that's the aim. Got to get a good performance in, get a good win over Brian Vera, and then you know, see what you can do for me then.
Callum, obviously Rebress has been a target for a while. Even on the November card we were talking about Rebress then. Moving up the rankings considerably, ranked across governing bodies now as well, but obviously number 3 with the WBC. This feels like the perfect fight for you for the silver title.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as I say, it was mentioned before, and it's a fight that I've always liked. I think stylistically it's a good fight for me, and just say I believe I can go on and become a world champion, and I'm not going to get there by beating people I'm supposed to beat, and I think this fight's the ideal fight to get me one step closer for, as I say, the title what I want.
Obviously we saw his fight with Groves. Groves won well, but Rebress was constantly in the fight, hurt Groves as well. What are you expecting from the fight? 2 very big super middleweights, you and Rebress.
Yeah, he's big for the weight. I think he was bigger than Groves. He's a big super middleweight, so I say it is a test for me, but I've always said the better the opponent, the better you see me, and I think I've backed that up so far. I say I'll train well for it, and I do feel it's the right fight at the right time.
And obviously moving forward from there, once you get the silver title, a final eliminator next, and you feel you're ready for the likes of Bellew Jack and George Groves winner, and even James DeGale if he can win the IBF world title as well.
Yeah, they're the type of fights I want to be involved in. Just say I've passed every test I've been given so far. I plan on passing the next one, and I'll look good doing it, and if that's the case, then why not go to final eliminator and I'll win that then. I'll have earned my shot, I haven't been given it. I've earned it, I've done it the right way. I've won the international title, I'll win the silver title, and I'll win a final eliminator, and I'll earn my shot, and I will become world champion.
Thank you. Obviously the super middleweight division in Liverpool, not just in the UK, is on fire right now. Paul Smith on the back of 2 great performances against Arthur Abraham, fights pound for pound star Andre Ward on June the 20th as well in Oakland, San Francisco. Going to be a great night as well. Tony, in all seriousness, back from the film, and I know you've been absolutely desperate to get back in the ring again. It's been an exciting time in your life, and you know, Lubos Suda for you on June the 26th, and then looks like a step forward for the IBF world title against Hernandez later in the year.
Yeah, that was always the aim, just to get closer to a world title fight. The Suda fight is, I know a lot of people are going to say it's a step backwards or whatever it is, but this is the longest I've ever been out the ring since I've been a pro. I had the movie obligations and stuff like that to do, obviously, so that's the reason I've been out the ring. So it's just to get me back into the swing of things. To be honest, I'm not claiming this as a great fighter I'm facing, but listen, he's won 33 fights, so you know he's got to be doing something right if he's won 33. It's a good fight at the right time for me, and then you know we'll move on to where we want to move on to, and that's, you know, Juan Pablo Hernandez. I believe he's the best fighter in the division. He's you know, I think he's the longest reigning champion. It's him or Hook. And he's beaten everybody who's anybody. Only has one, you know, loss, and that's to Wayne Braithwaite. So it looks like mission impossible again for me. You know, I always find the most awkward champion as usual, and the guy who's very hard to beat. And it's going to be no different at cruiserweight than it was at light heavy. The only difference this time is you know, I think I'll win. So time will tell.
Obviously, you've been out of the ring since November, so excited to be back. Suda, we've seen him with a number of top cruiserweights around the world. Are you looking to go in and put in the explosive performance, take frustration out, or is it more about taking your time and get the rounds ahead of such an important fight with Hernandez?
I've actually missed boxing so much. I'm just looking forward to punching someone in the face with them 10-ounce grandson again. So that's the top and bottom of that. And hopefully he's going to absorb and absorb and absorb. You know, I don't know if he will or he won't, but I've missed boxing so much. You know, listen, I've been away from my family for 2 months. It's like I've been in a boxing camp. I was training 2 or 3 times a day, and being away from home it is not the best, the most ideal thing. But I've done it. I got the movie out the way, and now all that time I was in Philly. I spoke to Eddie, knows, you know, everyone's going on. You're an actor, no, I'm not an actor. It's a one-off thing. It was an opportunity that arose, and it was something that I'd have been crazy not to take. I wasn't going to take it if I hadn't beat the other fella, but you know, just so happened that I did beat him, and the offer was still there, and then, you know, I took it, and it is what it is. But first and foremost, I'm a professional boxer. It's as simple as that. I love fighting. I still love fighting. I still love getting hit the odd time, and I enjoy nothing more than punching people in the face. I get a buzz out of it. I just love it. You know, there's no better feeling in this whole world than fight night. I love fighting. Don't get me wrong, I don't enjoy the day-to-day graft and the murder you get put through in the gym, but I just love fighting. I love walking to a ring thinking I am going to have a fight with you, so it's the best feeling in the world. And also it's great that I'm back here, along with these lads, Scousers on a bill. One thing that I will say is I've made up David's back. This city needs David Price. Simple as that. As much as any fighter, maybe even more, this city needs David Price. And it's great to have him back, it really is. At an arena where he's topped massive bills, made massive nights, but like I can't stress enough, this city needs David Price. It needs to get behind him and back him, because he's an outstanding fighter and, you know, we need him.
David, lovely build-up from your pal Tony there, but in all seriousness, obviously great to be back in Liverpool, and you feel now you're ready for those major fights.
Great to be back. It's been a long time coming. I thought I might have been back a bit sooner, but you know, things out of my control maybe delayed coming back to the city. But you know, what happened 2 years ago, it's in the past. You know, I don't really view it as two defeats. I view it as a situation that arose through mismanagement in my career, really, and bad decisions made on my part. You know, a few people had to hold their hands up and say we got it wrong, but that's gone, that's in the past, and I can't change it. So, you know, I accept it, it's part of my story, and we move on, and all I can deal with now is what's in front of me. And if someone would have come up to me 2 years ago, after getting out the ring, after the second Tony Thompson fight, and said, look, I know it's difficult, but 2 years from now, you're going to be signed with an excellent promotional outfit. You know, a professional outfit. You're going to be 4 wins back into the game, and you're going to be fighting potentially for the European title in Liverpool alongside, you know, your peers, you know, other top fighters from Liverpool. I'd have took someone's hands off for it, so life's good, you know, I'm in a good place, and I'm looking forward to giving the people of the city and beyond reason to believe in me again, because I know a lot of people lost faith after what happened, because I was rolling forward like a juggernaut, and it was creating a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, and it come to a sudden halt, and it was disappointing for a lot of people, but no more disappointing for anyone than it was for me. But for me, starting June 26th, it's going to be about giving the people of this city reason to believe you've got a potential heavyweight champion of the world on their hands again. And it'd be perfect if it can be for the European title. You know, put me in a great position, and you know, I'm excited.
Obviously, you've had some great nights and, you know, a couple of tough defeats at the Echo. Excited about going back there and setting the record straight, but, you know, being back in those changing rooms, in those walkways, remembering that arena and putting on a great performance.
I love the Echo Arena as a venue, full stop. You know, I love going to concerts there, whatever. But I don't think of the Echo Arena as like a haunted house, so to speak, where my main memories of the Echo Arena are walking out for the Old Harrison fight, because I've never experienced an atmosphere like it. That's fun, walking to the ring. You know, the other ones they're very deep away in my memories. The memories I've got are really positive. You know, the Old Harrison fight. I made my debut in the Echo Arena as well. You know, and I've been and seen my mates achieve great things in the Echo Arena. So yeah, I am looking forward to getting, you know, in the arena. And like I said, at the end of the day, overcoming my demons wasn't about going back to the Echo Arena. It was about stepping foot inside the boxing ring again, which I've done a few times since. And I'm looking forward to people seeing a new, improved, more relaxed version of the David Price that the last seen in the arena.
Great time for British heavyweight boxing, obviously, potentially, you know, a better time than, you know, when you were looking at back a year, 2 years ago. Yeah. Obviously, Tyson Fury looks set to challenge Klitschko for the world heavyweight title. Anthony Joshua going well, even Dylan White, you know, Chisora still floating around. Seems like this could be the right time for the return of big-time heavyweight boxing in the UK.
It looks as though we're about to enter a bit of a golden age for heavyweight boxing in this country. One which is probably better than in recent memory. So to be part of that, you know, I consider myself lucky to be active and at the top of my game at this time where you have got them names knocking around and there's big fights to be made amongst each other, and you know the big fights they're going to involve me no time.
We look forward to that. One thing that I think is important, obviously, that this is a great sporting city, and our team have been working closely with Team Southland and also with David and Tony. We'd like to make a gesture for this particular bill where we'll be donating 96 pence for every ticket sold to the families of the Hillsborough tragedy. It was important to us, and obviously David and Tony as well are going to be backing that scheme. So we're going to be putting that campaign forward for this show as well. Tickets are already on sale, and we look forward to June the 26th on Friday night at the Echo Arena live for one-on-ones with you, and we'll have a quick photo up here, and we look forward to another great night of boxing in Liverpool. Thanks for coming. Cheers.